Now what I'm going to do now is just something you'll have seen in the notes is called refactoring, and it's really just setting up separate modules to make code more efficient. And some of those of you going for the higher marks will want to do this. I'm going to set up two variables. The first one, and I'm going to call it for the crab while acting, and I'm going to call it moving and turning. In fact, maybe I'll call it a little bit move and turn. Open close brackets. The next one's going to be called eating wombat, we'll call it, semicolon. So that's going to allow to move. Now that's going to give me a syntax error at the moment because there's no such method called move and turn, so I need to make that. So I'm going to move the curly bracket from the bottom here up to the end of act. And now underneath, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a public. It's going to be void because it's just going to do something, but it's going to be called move and turn. And it's going to have its own curly brackets, and it's in essence going to contain all the move and turn code. So if I paste that into there. Then below that I'm going to do a similar idea again, but this time it's going to be public. Remember I've called it eating wombat. Open curly brackets, close curly brackets, and in there I'm going to put all the eating components. And so each time the crab acts, it's going to move and turn, or it's going to decide whether it needs to move or turn, and it's also going to eat a wombat, or again it's going to decide does it need to eat a wombat or not. So let's compile that. Return type required. I've missed out void because there is no return value, it's just performing an action. So again, compile, no syntax errors. Well, there shouldn't be syntax errors because I've just really moved my code that I've tested, but just make sure that curve brackets, semicolons are in the right place and so on. Again, if a semicolon is missed out, you go in to get the error that says a semicolon is required. So compile. So now we'll run that, and again it works exactly the same, but this time it's now looking to move and turn, decides whether it needs to move forward or turn left or turn right. And then when I move forward, when I move onto a wombat, note it's also doing this eating wombat each cell as well, but when I move over a wombat, it's decided that wombat found is not null, so it refreshes the world and it gets rid of the object. So that's called refactoring. Just means I can split my solution up into different smaller modules, and very useful if later on I want to call this move and turn from elsewhere in the program, although you won't really be required to do that in this exam.